Big LEZ'S League, an all rugby league experience.
Hello, welcome back to Big LEZ'S League, an all rugby league experience. Now, a little bit of a different setup. This isn't how the studio is going to look full time. It's a little bit of a sneak peek. You got the lights, studio, everything's sort of happening here. Obviously not going to have this on me every single time we do a podcast in here. The plan is next week we're probably going to get a stand that's going to come from here. It's going to go to here. Everything's going to look a lot more professional. We're definitely not going to have the table here, but this is just a little bit of a temporary thing. But let us know what your thoughts are on the new look, the new studio. If I've done a right job, if I've done a shit job, let us know in the comments below what you guys think. But a little bit of an interesting topic on the podcast today. We're going to be getting stuck into a little bit of the statistical side, but also just a bit of where these clubs are at and how these guys are going. Who won the trade? Blaize Talagi to the Penrith Panthers from Parramatta, or Iongi from the Penrith Panthers to the Parramatta Eels? Which club has won that specific trade? Which player is playing better right now? So we're going to get stuck into all of that. If you want more great content like this, more rugby league content like this, click the button below, subscribe to the channel. But let's get stuck straight into it. So let's get stuck into Iongi's stats for this year, and then we'll just get into a bit of his form and dribble and yarn from there. So in this season, 2025, I only had the one game last year, so 17 appearances, including the one last year. He scored 5 tries as well this season. 11 try assists. That's a massive, massive number there for him. 11 try assists in 17 games. Pretty good little strike rate there for Iongi. 68 tackle busts. Definitely getting through a ton of work. 7 line breaks. He's had 536 receipts. And I think not many people look into receipts. And, not some people actually don't know what receipts are. But when you're looking at receipts are every time a player touches the ball, that is a receipt. So every time they touch the ball, that's what happens. You get that receipt as well. So 536 of those, that is a lot. Means he's getting heavily involved. I'd love to see, I guess, an average number of that, but the NRL app doesn't show it. I could realize the lights just turned off behind me. That's awesome. There we go. Tackles made, 92 at a 71.9% efficiency. I mean, that's pretty surprising for a fullback, to be honest. You don't expect them to make that many tackles. Missed 36 tackles. That's obviously a little bit of a big number there compared to other fullbacks. 71% tackle efficiency from fullback is definitely a little bit of a low number, considering you don't think they make too many tackles. 171 average run meters per game. And we don't really need to look into the fantasy stats there too much. But all in all, from an attacking side of things, really, really good. He's really started the year strong. And, game by game, he's really gotten better and he's really started to work on his craft a bit. It's hard to sort of assess because he has been out for the past, 3 weeks now. But for his 2025 season, when he was in the side, they were a better side when he was there. He was playing some really good footy, try assists. Just working on honing in his own game and his own style and playing to the style that Parramatta were trying to go for. And, especially with those few games that they got together back with Moses, I thought that he was really good as well. So that's a little bit of a breakdown there for Iongi. We might as well just get stuck into the stats as well for Blaize Talagi and just get it out of the way. So Blaize Talagi, he's played 16 games this season. He scored 6 tries. 6 forced dropouts, an average kicking meters of 56. A lot of those are, ground kicks, so grubbers and things like that, mostly short range. But 6 forced dropouts is pretty good. It's a decent number. 10 try assists, 9 line break assists. So I think that's also sort of gone up over the past few weeks as he grows in confidence. 12 offloads. He has 572 receipts. Really, really good from the 5'8" position. And especially because, the difference is Iongi's played every game right up until that point where he was out injured. Whereas, Blaize Talagi, he only came in round 3 coming off the bench. Then he didn't play 5'8" or, get a consistent string of games at 5'8" together until round 6. So there was a 5-game streak there where he wasn't even in the side, really. But yeah, look, really, really good stats for the most part. 83% tackle efficiency as well, I really like. Also made 354 tackles. That's insane. That's awesome. 83%. I really like that number, particularly when there was a big concern around his defense, especially at the start of the year. For him to round out his number to 83.3, I think has been really good. Running meters, average 92. That's really good for a 5'8". I think we see a lot of these 5'8s like your Deardens and your even halfbacks like Cleary and sometimes Jerome Hughes, sometimes Nico Hines, because they're really good with their running game. You see them get to 100, 150 run meters. It's not normal for halves. Halves don't generally run the ball that much. They're too busy organising. You see it a lot more with older halves like Renault, Foz, these sort of guys. They generally only have 30 to 40 run meters per game, but they are, focusing on facilitating to others, kicking games, things like that. They're focusing on the organising, whereas, guys like Cleary, guys like Hughes, guys like Dearden, they focus a lot more on their running game. 92, an average of 92 for any half, more so a few years ago. It is a big number. It definitely means he's getting through a ton of work there. Really good little record for Blaize Talagi. The stats are really good. What stands out to me, obviously, is the tackle efficiency there. Definitely not the route that I thought it would be, especially with Isaiah Iongi playing at fullback. You'd think he'd make a lot less tackles. For their tackle efficiency to be a lot lower than what Blaize Talagi is. It's not by a lot, really, 71% compared to 83. There's about a 12% difference there. But that's still a drastic difference from the position that Isaiah Iongi is playing, especially in the fullback position. You think he makes a lot less tackles and, definitely doesn't miss as many. 36 missed tackles does jump out to me a little bit. But yeah, as I said, Blaize Talagi, the 83.3% tackle efficiency, especially when he was struggling with his defense at the start of the year, to have that not only like that, but higher than a fullback's tackle efficiency who doesn't usually have to make too many tackles. I really like that stat as well. Looking at how the clubs are going, obviously looking at a Parramatta Eels side that is at the bottom of the ladder. But Isaiah Iongi, it is his first year. He didn't have a full year in first grade like Blaize Talagi did. You got to remember Blaize played a majority of that back end of the season for Parramatta before making his way over the Panthers. Isaiah Iongi, this is his first year in this side, It's his first year and thrown straight into the deep end as well in the fullback position. I don't think he's missed any games other than, when he's been out. He's played pretty much every single game other than when they've had a bye. So, he has been in this side frequently. He's played the full game for every single game that he's been in other than the Tigers one, which I think he went off for a HIA. And he's played bloody well as well. And as I said, he gets better every single game. I think with the Parramatta Eels as well, you can look at where they are on the ladder compared to the Panthers. What Panthers have done this year has been incredible. But you also need to look at the direction that they're going in as well. Parramatta, they're playing much better football now with the rearranged side and obviously a little bit of movement in their forward pack more so. But just really starting to play the style that Rolesy has tried to implement at the club as well. I think that's been really, really good. And you can see it rubbing off on the players, and especially Isaiah Iongi up until round 20 when obviously he was ruled out. It was sort of starting to rub off on him as well, and he was starting to play really good footy. Right between, I'd say, round 10, 11, onwards, we saw the best of Isaiah Iongi and just getting better every single game. And I think that, going into next year as well, when he's in this side more frequently and hopefully less injuries at that stage too, he can have a huge impact and just get better and better and better in his second year as well, which is going to be awesome to see. Blaize Talagi, as I said, he's already had a full season with Parramatta, coming over and having to play a completely different position as well. You're more used to playing fullback in the lower grades. Played a little bit of 5'8", but definitely more used to playing a bit of fullback. Was thrown into the centres and on the wing for Parramatta for majority of his stint there. So coming in, playing a position that is a little bit new to him, having to defend there and at a higher rate as well, especially with Penrith and their standards, and what Luai was sort of doing with his defence. He's one of the better defensive 5'8s in the competition, Jerome Luai, and the tackle efficiency of the across the board for the Tigers has gone up with his presence in there, and it's dropped a little bit for the Panthers with him leaving as well. We saw those stats at the start of the year, but having a really good defensive 5'8 walk out the door, and then Blaize Talagi coming in a completely new position and having to defend there. He was struggling with his defense at the start of the year, had to do a bunch of training and stay back. It was the reason that he wasn't put into the side straight away for the Panthers as well. super impressive what Blaize Talagi been able to do at the back end of the year. You know, we're talking about more so his attack and the confidence that he has as well with his ball playing and things like that. But defensively, he's been very, very good as well. I think you have to look at the fact that they've been able, since bringing him in round 5, 6, he hasn't missed a game other than when they've had the bye since. So he has been on the park every game that they've picked him in that starting 5'8" role. They've developed him really well. They are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 games in a row now, the Panthers. As well, Blaize Talagi being a key barometer of that. Scored the winning try against the Titans last week. Had a pretty decent role to play in the win against the Knights as well. In the Tigers win, he was really, really good. He seems to have these really big performances. We're looking at the form of Edwards. We're looking at the form of Cleary. But Talagi's been really good as well. So, I tell you what, it is a hard one. Who's won this trade? The Panthers or the Eels? I honestly don't know if I can give you an answer, to be honest, because both players grow week to week. Both players are playing really good footy right now. And both sides are playing some decent footy. Panthers are playing the better football. The defense of Talagi has been better, so maybe you have to lean slightly with Blaize Talagi and the Panthers there. But it is very, very close. I'd love to hear your thoughts. Who has won this trade deal? The Panthers or the Parramatta Eels? As I said, if you want more content like this, then make sure to go ahead and click below, subscribe to the YouTube, and become a part of the big LEZ'S League community. More content to come throughout the week, not so much on the YouTube, but any YouTube content recommendations that you would like to see, leave them below. Make sure to go ahead and subscribe to the Spotify and Apple Podcasts. That's where all of the bulk of the content, previews, reviews, news, stuff like that, they'll come out all on the Spotify and Apple Podcasts. So get stuck into that. We'll see you guys in the next one.